Hello everyone, this is Jaden. I've been on a little bit of a break, but I'm getting back into the swing of things with this video on Josuke. Now, I mentioned this in another video, but about wanting to do this. I think it was my analysis of the Higashikata family, but I went in there a bit about Josuke. But Josuke is a really interesting character, and he definitely deserves my full analysis. So what I want to touch on today is just who is Josuke and what story purposes does he present. So the man we know as Josuke Higashikata is kind of a paradox because he's technically Josefumi Kujo, yet no, he's not, because he has no memories and he has a different body due to the fusion of Yoshikage Kira and Josefumi resulting in his birth. When we first see him in chapter 1, he isn't Josefumi coming back from the dead. There is no Josefumi. There is no memory or recollection in the mind of Josuke. There's no, in the story, he just reactivates his memory. That never happens. He has to find out who he was and who he is. That's his main goal in the series, is to find out who he wants to be and what he wants to focus on and his values. And right now, it seems to be family above all else. And half of the story is about choosing who his family is, because whether it be choosing the Higashikatas over the time he spent with them, or choosing Holly, or choosing Yasuo to be his family, or choosing whoever, there's people he chooses not to be family with, like Kira, who he was very fond of and possibly romantically involved in a past life. So he does choose people to not be family with. And he chooses not to be family with also Kei Nijimura, Kei Kira. He chooses not to pursue her because we see in some of the most recent chapters, she enters the room and he's like, Kei Nijimura! Like, doesn't even call her sister, big sis, or little sister, whatever. Doesn't even say, Kei Kira, hey sister, like, nothing. Just, Kei Nijimura, like, whoa, it's the maid, not, whoa, it's my sister. So there is a precedent for him not choosing family and choosing not to pursue family. But with those he has pursued family, a family dynamic with, he is very, very attached, except where he isn't. For example, I bring up Jobin. Basically, I think to Josuke, Jobin is definitely one of those people where he sees him as a brother. They have had their brotherly fights with the whole beetle tendency, and we have like all those little examples of them making bets. And they definitely have a brotherly dynamic. But there's a bit of rivalry there, which isn't unprecedented in family. There can be rivalry in family, but I guess if it's more, hey, we're gonna kill you, that's never good. So basically what I'm kind of saying is that Josuke chooses his family. And he chooses, for example, let's go with Holly. Holly is one of the most important things to Josuke, because he feels like even though he needs to become a newer him, a new self, he needs to make Josuke, he still needs to honor the family of his past lives, because he's as much her son as he is Norisuke's son. He cannot let Holly just pass into the night, forgotten by everyone, even herself. He needs to help her as much as he can and as hard as he can, because she really is the closest thing he has to a mom. And mothers are obviously the big thing in JoJolion, whereas Steel Ball Run had fathers, mothers are JoJolion's thing. We see that with Holly, we see that with Yasuo, we see that with the Higashikatas and Kato, we see that with even Josefumi, his mom, we see that with Toru, even we got a little flashback showing Toru's mom giving birth. So there's another mother connection, even if it's not as big as some of the others. There's just a lot of motherly connections in JoJolion. This is a widely known thing. But basically, I think that he chooses to take care of his past before he can continue. I definitely think that Josuke isn't going to always put Holly before necessarily the rest of his family. It's just that Holly, as much as he knows, most dire of straits right now, she really needs to be handled. What he doesn't realize is how bad Tsurugi is. He hasn't seen Tsurugi since a long time ago, at least. And he hasn't seen his rock disease. He doesn't know why Jobin is fighting to really get this disease out, because Josuke himself hasn't had to face this disease. He is fighting for his mother, essentially. Because, alright, I'll have a graphic on screen right now, but this is illustrating kind of the tree of Josuke's family. You have Jobin and Joshu, who are the brothers. You have Norisuke, who is his father. You have Holly, who is his mother. You have Yasuo, who is his kind of love interest, but it can be seen as kind of a motherly figure to him, even though she is the love interest. And then we have stuff like Mamazuku, who is also a brother, or like a best friend sort of thing. We have the daughters, the Higashikata daughters, those are both sisters. That is his family tree. Like, and he probably considered Mamazuku a bit of family. Maybe not family, but closest thing that you can get without being proper family. Because he obviously liked him more than Kei, because it's obvious if you read the chapters, and he's obviously liked him more than Kara. So really, we can kind of paint a picture of a man who wants to find himself by finding himself, who he was. Because Josuke's story is as much about going backwards as it is moving forwards. And I think that's honestly beautiful. And as much as I love Johnny is a very, very close second to Josuke in my ranking. And that's just my personal ranking. I do think Johnny is technically written better on a very technical level of story, and it all flows together. I think Steel Ball Run flows together with his character a lot more efficiently than necessarily Josuke does with JoJolion, but I personally favor JoJolion and Josuke just due to my personal tastes and kind of reading it monthly and being a YouTuber and having the experience I have. I'm not trying to knock any other JoJo, and especially not anyone, because I really love all the JoJos. They're some of my favorite characters in fiction. But I hope this kind of little video made you see the bigger picture on Josuke, and hopefully you appreciate him a bit more now. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you want, you can check me out on Twitter and on Twitch. I am starting to stream there. I'm streaming games. So far I've done a Fallout 4 stream and a Pokemon stream. And on Twitter I tweet about my thoughts on chapters. For example, here are some on screen. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Peace.